Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're just going to sit down and talk to you guys. So normally we just talk about the meta and everything like that, the best brawlers in the game, but today we're just going to talk about the state of Brawl Stars because it's in the best state it's been in a very long time, but there's a lot of community reaction with how things are going, especially with the balance of the game. So I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts and just with no script as well, so you guys know it's completely legit. Like, I'm not trying to bend some truths and try and like sweet talk Supercell or anything like that. So to begin with, the first burning question, which everybody's talking about right now, like Twitter is on fire. Reddit, I've not even looked to Reddit because I know what that's going to be like right now. But it's Lawrie and Lawrie. Of course, when a brawler is this broken, it isn't as fun. Of course, we like it when a brawler is on the strong side. And one thing I kind of wanted to discuss and interested to see your guys' take on it is how, I mean, it obviously needs a nerf, right? But in terms of this early access bundle, it's of course a big success for Supercell because they keep reintroducing it, and it's somewhat decent value. Even if the brawler was weak, a lot of times there's some good coins, power points, etc. But the problem is, right, so I was seeing this discussion also on Bobby's stream, is say if the brawler is really broken like Lawrie and Lawrie, but you nerf it before the release of the brawler to everyone, is that fair? People could say that then you've just wasted £15 on a brawler which is now trash. Well, that's true, but then you've got the other side of it as well. Do you just want a broken brawler like Lawrie and Lawrie for everybody? I mean, it's a tough one, but one thing I'd just like to hear from someone from Supercell just discuss this and at least tell us and elaborate why they're doing this, because for me, I'm happy even if, say for example, I bought Lawrie and Lawrie, yeah, they're broken for like 1-2 days at maximum, and then receive some type of nerfs, I'll be fine, because I'd rather that than Lawrie and Lawrie to be in this state and completely break the game. Because for me personally, I don't know about you guys, it's still really bad. Even at 800 trophies, I was facing like double and triple Lawrie and Lawrie. But for me, I'd rather the game be a little bit balanced and still the sense like you can push most brawlers than rather have one brawler that's literally Thanos, that he's invincible once he has his super, and then once you get your first super, you can just cycle infinitely. The balance of the game has never been worse at this point. Honestly, we're in a discussion where Lawrie and Lawrie could be the best brawler of all time. I personally think that Charlie might have been a little bit better, but at the same time, Lawrie and Lawrie is a thrower and just deals insane amounts of damage. And then the weaknesses, of course, any type of assassins, well, Lawrie just is able to counter them because, of course, he's a shotgunner. So and essentially, he has zero weaknesses. I think the only weaknesses I could find is literally the first engagement, because like tanks can just run at you until you get your super, but then once you get that, you're literally invincible. Like you can see in the gameplay, I'm putting the gameplay on the screen. I'm playing at 1,300 trophies and I'm winning pretty much every single game because he's just unstoppable. But at the same time, I'm just facing triple Lawrie and Lawrie. So the point I'm trying to make is I just want some clarity. That's of course one thing Brawl Stars have been really good at for the longest time, but in sense, like the community feedback I'm just seeing constantly is just nerf Lawrie and Lawrie. It's just so clear, right? Like, I guess in terms of like who playtests the game, like us content creators, we will playtest things on the dev build, but at the end of the day, they'll have their own reasons as to why they want to make a brawler a certain way. It's very, very, very rare. Say, for example, if I find out, I don't know, like a hypercharge is broken or something like that, but it will get nerfed before it's actually implemented into the game, because again, they have their own playtest and they probably hire out, no, I think they do hire out a bunch of like an external company to playtest the game, and it's kind of, again, they'll have their own idea. They want to make sure that, like I've seen Danny also make a point as well, is that there's two sides of the coin as well. Like either one of the brawler, like a brawler on release is, you know, a bit mid and not really exciting like Willow, and then they never seem to recover. Or you can have a brawler like Lawrie and Lawrie, Charlie for example, and it does create a lot of community hype, but at the same time we don't want a broken brawler where there's nothing you can do. Of course you want at least a few counters, and for the longest time, I mean, at least with Kit, like Kit was broken because of a lot of bugs, but still there was some kind of shutdowns to it. Like you could use Cordelia's, Charlie. Again, it took a lot of effort, but you could eventually take down a Kit, because again, it was more so the composition around Kit. But with Lawrie and Lawrie, it's just straight up, you can use this brawler into pretty much everything and it's just broken. So yeah, I'm kind of at a head loss right now. I don't know where to really like go, because I just want an emergency nerf with this brawler. I'm just unsure why they've taken so long. Like, you don't need data in a sense to realize how broken this brawler is, and it would just be nice to resume some balance in the game, because again, if you guys were unaware as well, there was matchmaking kind of fix. Basically, you couldn't get onto the game a few days ago. That's why you've seen that kind of funny video where I was saying how to play Brawl Stars in 2024. So they just removed all matchmaking algorithms, so you could literally face as a 1,500 trophy player. You could get instant matchmaking and face 700 trophy players. So of course, I mean, that was fun. That was the most fun I've had in Brawl Stars in years, because of the instant matchmaking. I know destroying noobs is pretty fun, but obviously that's not healthy for the game, right? Because definitely with player retention, the lower levels are just going to get beat constantly, and they're just going to log off the game. They probably will have a really frustrating experience. Like, for the top 1%, it was probably the most fun I've ever had in Brawl Stars. So getting a rank 35 in an hour, it was just so fun. But again, I think the biggest problem is, which could be solved, is just matchmaking times. So that is one thing I wanted to talk about, because it just made the game so fun. And imagine if Lawrie and Lawrie was nerfed and then matchmaking was super quick, you'd see so many people online. You've seen it got fixed the other days. So essentially on my friends list, there was like 120 people online, and then matchmaking got fixed, and that went down to like 70 the next day instantly. And it was a weekend. Normally I would presume that player activity is a lot higher on the weekend. So I mean, that's just my friend list. High trophy players just didn't really feel the need to log on. Myself, again, I can't literally just play, I don't know, for example, if I want to play a quest and, I don't know, let's just say Surge or Rico or something like that, I'm just going to face Lawrie and Lawrie every single game, and I'm not going to be able to win unless I have a Lawrie and Lawrie on my team. So a lot of frustration with this brawler. And again, I just want some clarity. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get an emergency nerf pretty soon. I think we will. I think it's very evident that the community are like really pushing this. But at the same time, I would actually just like a podcast pretty soon. I hope they film it this week, because there is a lot of community backlash. Of course, the game is in its probably, I would say, most hyped state in a very long time. We've recently got the brought together legendary at the end of it, so 16 billion takedowns within less than a week, I think, which is just absolutely insane. So it's clear that there's a lot of people playing the game. It is fun. Again, one thing I wanted to talk about as well, and I'm just waffling at this point, but as a pro player, I used to always just be so fixated on the game needs to be balanced. I don't like anything outlying, but in a sense, I like, obviously not Lawrie and Lawrie level, but chaos can be fun, and it's quite clear that what Brawl Stars has been doing, it has introduce a lot more fun into the game. That's why you're seeing a lot of returning players. That's why if you literally just go across YouTube and click on a lot of Brawl YouTubers channels, the views have gone up double. On my channel, they've gone up double. Of course, that can be the creator pushing and creating better content, but at the end of the day, I think it's just Brawl Stars itself is doing a lot better. So you've got to give it to the devs. Like, outside of Lawrie and Lawrie, they're doing an amazing job with the game, and they're adding a lot more fun elements with star drops, with events, with fun hypercharges. Some of them were broken on release, some of them are still a little bit strong, but they're not like game breaking, right? Like Fangs, hypercharge, Edgar's, Leon's, they're not game breaking. There are counters to it, they're just very strong. And of course, hypercharge, I've already discussed that before. That can hopefully get fixed in the future. But the thing you got to realize as well, if the game is really fun, then everything's just going to get better down the line. Like 2024 can be a big year for Brawl Stars, because that's one thing that was missing last year. I just wasn't having fun with the game, and of course a lot of people weren't. But the more fun hypercharges, the more fun new brawlers, the new mechanics, and all of these different things that we can be looking forward to, and especially Power League rework, hopefully with the next update as well. I think this could be huge for Brawl Stars. I think it could be very make and break though. Like, we don't want another big slump that we've seen with the past few years where, you know, views were low, people weren't enjoying the game as much. So I think they've definitely got the momentum, and hopefully they can really ride with it and just gain even more popularity towards the end of 2024. But I think they've got it in them. I'm just hoping that we just get a little bit more clarity. At least like someone from Supercell can go on like Twitter or something and just say, you know, we've looked at, we don't even need to look at the data. We've seen community feedback, we've played the game ourselves, and we realized Lawrie and Lawrie are broken. There's going to be a fix on said date. I know they don't like saying specific dates, but there's going to be a fix on this date, and of course, this is the reason why maybe we didn't nerf it on early access, or this is the reason why we maybe should have nerfed it in early access. I don't know. It's really a tough one. I don't know. I'm at a crossroad because I just want to play the game. I want to enjoy the game. I want to push my brawlers to 1,000 trophies, which of course will win streaks. Again, another amazing addition, and which has just brought so much life to the game. I want to be able to play most brawlers, of course, in every meta, especially with, what, 76 brawlers in the game now. You're not going to be able to play every single brawler in the game, but I feel like for the most part you can until a broken brawler like Lawrie comes out. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. Again, it's just me waffling. I probably missed out on a lot of really key points, but this is just me speaking off the tongue and really just, again, probably just, what, 11 minutes of me just moaning about Lawrie. But again, I'm just hoping for some clarity, and we should be able to get that in the future. So that's going to be it for today's video. Of course, we'll be streaming tomorrow, and at least in Power League, we can just ban Lawrie and at least have some fun. Again, Power League is my safe place, but of course, I want to play ladder right now. That's one thing that I loved in the past few days. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.